What's poppin', everybody? This is Cerebral Fine 4. You guys know what this is. In 2 weeks, we're getting our latest set, Vivid Voltage. So it's time to talk about the meta a little bit again, and then give you guys a few thoughts about the new set too. So in all fairness, I've actually been playing the expanded format a lot more recently than the standard format. So my judgment, perhaps it's incomplete. But I think everything happened as everybody expected. When Darkness Ablaze came out, the Eternatus Crobat deck ended up being strong, like we thought. Zacian and Arceus are still a threat, fire decks are still solid. And I guess the only small surprise is the Pikarom decks managing to hang on a little bit better than I thought they would. All thanks to Boltund V. If it wasn't for Boltund V, they wouldn't be able to do anything. But because of that card, and I guess because of Speed Energy, that helps a lot too. Even though they lost their best stuff with the rotation when we lost Lost Thunder, they still managed to remain somewhat relevant as a good deck if piloted by a good player. And Dragapult V dying in popularity like everyone thought due to Eternatus and its weakness to it. I also saw some people trying to make Salamence VMAX work in the beginning with Welders or with Porygon Z and what have you. I'm not exactly sure how successful they were. If I was a guessing man, I would say not very successful, but who knows, I could be wrong. But for the most part, the decks that were good before remain good, and the decks that we thought were going to be good from Darkness Ablaze ended up being good. Mad Party putting in some work too, etc. Now, regarding Vivid Voltage, I don't find it as exciting as Darkness Ablaze. Maybe it's because Darkness Ablaze had a lot of V Pokemon that are actually Pokemon that I like Rhyperior and Crobat and Salamence and what have you. I think the most exciting Pokemon, in my opinion anyway, in Vivid Voltage is going to be the Snorlax. I made a dedicated video comparing it with Team Up Jirachi, and I do think that that Pokemon has a lot to offer. It's going to make a decent impact, I think, and help out a lot of decks. I guess if I had to pick out a V/VMAX Pokemon, or Beetle probably stands out the most. Its ability isn't something to take lightly, but as it's usually the case with any good grass Pokemon that comes out, the weakness to fire really limits its possibilities. The cycle is pretty standard. If it becomes being popular, then fire will keep it in check in all probability. Obviously, there's ways to negate your weakness and stuff with the weakness, guard energy, and what have you. But because Welder is so consistent and so easy to use, we have so many strong fire Pokemon around, I think people will probably try and use it in the beginning, and then eventually, if they start losing to fire, then they're going to drop it. Vivid Voltage is also going to contain cards from the Legendary Beat Japanese set, which I thought that set was going to be merged with the other sets and make it into Darkness Ablaze, but I was wrong. That set also has another very strong Grass V Pokemon, Zerud V, but once again, I don't know how effective it's going to be when fire can keep it in check so easily. But I do think that Coastal V and VMAX and Steelix V are cool V Pokemon from that set. There hasn't been any information or any other cards or support that I've seen anyway for those Brush, Rainbow Paint Pokemon in that set. So I suppose they'll just end up being collectible cards like the old Crystal cards from Gen 2. But if I'm wrong, all of them do have very broken attacks like Zacian and Zamazenta and Raikou. They've got broken attacks, it's just a matter of putting the damn energies on them. I guess Milotic would have been a way, but that card has been confirmed that it's going to get banned, so that's good, actually. That would have been broken. I didn't even think about these cards when I was talking about Milotic. But the great thing to take away from Vivid Voltage is that consistency in general is going to get a massive boost. We don't just get the Snorlax that I mentioned, we get like a Beedrill that lets you draw cards. You play it down and you draw cards if it's the only card in your hand. We also get another Jirachi that has Pidgeot's ability, letting you draw cards if it's in the active position, boosting consistency once again. And I guess another partner that's probably going to be really broken when combining with Arceus, it's going to be Aegis/V and Aegis/V Max. The first form with Sonic Edge, you can ignore effects, which is very useful. And then the VMAX does more damage the more prizes you've taken. So that could very well be something that the Arceus Zacian players could throw in. They're Metal Pokemon, they can use Metal Saucer, so I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, these are my thoughts. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments. Like the video, share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for all sorts of Pokemon TCG videos. I'll do my best to show you guys some of the new decks when we get the new set, but as always, I've got no guarantees. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Saberwolf 4, and I'll see you guys next time. What's say?